Attention passengers, this is your conductor speaking. We are about to arrive at the hesitation station. Please mind your step as you enter the station.
Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Hesitation Station podcast. I am Jay, along with my co-host Tank. How you doing today, buddy?
Doing good. Ready for some buttered toast.
I do like buttered toast. That's facts. As y'all
I'm a
can
big fan of
tell, I
toast.
am in a huh.
I'm a big fan of toast.
I am too, especially with eggs and bacon on it. As
Shut
you
up.
guys
I'm
can
hungry.
tell, as you guys can tell, I am in a new location. This is my house, and the green screen doesn't work, or the background doesn't work. So I'm gonna have to go buy another green screen. So bear with me. You can see my wonderful paint job and my wonderful drums. So y'all be all right, because that's not going to be the thing that you're going to be focused on today. For today, we have a very special guest. Tank,
That
you want to
big ass
introduce him?
forehead of yours.
Thank you. Thank you. You know what? I was going to give you the opportunity to like, introduce them, but you know what? I'll do it. Everybody, we have Matt Hill, the voice actor, and we're going to bring him in right now. One
Bam.
day you're going to do it right on time.
How did you guys do that? I was not there, and then I was here, and then I was there, and then I don't know how did I get down? Wow.
Wow.
Hey, Tank, my brother.
It's
It is so good to see you.
it's the
It's good to
wonderful
see you.
magic of jawbreakers.
Wow.
Did you really go out and buy jawbreaker?
Sold at a specialty store near you. Must be 18.
Everybody, this right, because then if you break your teeth, we're not responsible.
Exactly. Gentlemen, just like you guys were saying, just like butter toast, it is my most favorite thing to be able to do, to talk to wonderful young gentlemen like you guys were a couple of years ago when you were just babies in diapers, and then you went, what? I am 25 now? Holy moly. So, on our 25th anniversary for Ed and Eddie, thank you for loving the show, man. Thanks, guys.
Oh, you're very
Fun
welcome.
fact, I think
Thank
my
you.
mom still has my diapers.
Hey, next birthday.
Get them autographed.
Gentlemen, no, this is like, what a trip, man. I can't believe, like that 25 years goes under the old, proverbial rivers of time. It's amazing.
Oh yeah.
And, thank you for watching the show, though, for real. It's, it's a big deal to me to be able to, share whatever it is you guys want to ask me.
Oh, we got plenty to ask you, because unlike this person, I did my research this week.
Ask away, son.
First off, I don't have to do research, dude. Ed and Eddie was a huge part of my childhood.
Yeah.
Same, but you can never be too ill prepared.
In my professional opinion, as a fully grown adult, sometimes, I feel like Ed was the backbone of that group. Don't get me wrong, Eddie had his ways, and Double D did what he needed to do.
Yeah.
But without Ed, I don't think they would have gotten as far as they did.
Oh, well, thanks, fellas. You cut out a little bit, but I think I decimated it from saying that you thought that Ed was a very integral character. Is that what you meant? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Because then it would have just been Ed and Eddie. I don't know. Yeah. I don't think it would have worked.
It's not a catch. That doesn't work.
Song would have been like Ed.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work, man. It doesn't work. It had to be three.
Wait a minute. Do you have a pebble stuck in your shoe for this interview? I just want to make sure.
A pebble stuck in my shoe?
Yeah.
How did you know that I just came back from out in the outdoors? I had pebbles in my. I have Nike Frees on, and they have these waffles, and they were so stuck with pebbles today that I was like, "Can you see my shoes?" But I'm like, "I don't think you can see my shoes." But yes, I had many pebbles in my shoes today. So
We have literally had me and my buddies have had this conversation of who would win, Goku versus Ed with a pebble in his shoe.
oh my God, you know what? I gotta say Ed, because he is so stupid, smart,
Stupid,
big-hearted.
smart. Yeah.
He'd be like, I would have it in my shoe all day, but I'd be like, oh, oh, oh.
You know what to expect from Goku, but
Yeah.
Ed's
Right.
a total wild card.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. I mean, that's for me, that's probably one of the favorite things that I loved when I finally got the role, that they basically said, we don't want we don't want anybody to be trying to figure out where the hell Ed's coming from. So they just let me like play within the parameters of the lines. Like, like nobody's business. It was unbelievable. It was such what a journey, man. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, do you guys have any specific questions you wanna go
I got
with?
a lot. I got a lot.
Yeah, I can just talk and talk and talk and stuff. So I'll take your lead, and then
Okay.
yeah, okay, perfect, awesome.
Okay.
Jay, I will grant you the first time.
You will grant me what?
Go for it. Ask the first question.
Oh, thank you. All
You're
right.
such a
So
good gentleman.
most people know Matt Hill as Ed, right? Okay, right. Everybody knows him as Ed. But when I did my research, I was utterly surprised to find out that he also played in Inuyasha. He played Bankugo, or is that how you say it? Bankuzo?
Something like that. I think
Something like that.
Bon Ketso or Bonkitsu or
Yeah.
Ketsusaso, Saso Maso. Yeah,
Some Japanese name. We don't know.
the misunderstood evil one that wanted to take over the world, So yeah,
Right.
absolutely. Yeah. Who's so close to Ed, right?
Yeah.
Ed wanted to hug the world, and Bonkotsu wanted to kill the world. So same thing.
Yeah,
just
I mean, tomato.
misunderstood. That's all.
A little lost in translation there, but that's okay.
Yeah. Oh my God, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, what a trip, man! It's like some of these roles, like like that. Even it's like I can't believe sometimes that I got some of those ones because I so didn't think I was right for some of them. And Ed, we didn't know what they wanted. I mean, they had 8 official callbacks for the show, and and it was literally through like a mistake because I had no idea what they were looking for by the end. We were all just going like, what do you want? Because we weren't getting hired. We just get called back. And then for one weird reason, this one time, I just don't know why I did it, but I blew in the mic, and I went like, I touched the mic, right? And if you blow in the mic, it makes a big noise, right? And then I tapped on it, and I said, fellas, how do you get water from this thing here? And Danny, the creator, went, oh my God. And I thought I couldn't hear him because he was behind the glass. And I thought he was going, you asshole, get him out of here. He's fired before he's even hired. And he was yelling at the engineer going, did you get that? Because he's like, that's Ed, right? And the engineer's like, he said, play it to him. And so he played it to me, and I hear this, dunk, dunk, dunk. Oh, fellas, how do you get water from this thing here? And he said, if you do that, you've got the part, man. And so thank God, for the first 13 episodes, every time I was like getting out of Ed mode, Danny would be like, play him the thing, play him the mistake, play him the thing, right? And so, I'd hear the proverbial dunk, 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 how do you get water from this thing? And Ed was kind of born, it was kind of awesome because they let me play. It's like, they said, we want everybody to always sort of know that Eddie's always scamming, Double D's always paranoid because everything's so messy. And they said, Ed, we want Ed to come from below, from above, from sideways, sometimes with his feet coming twinkly toe through the screen. And, it was so freeing to be able to just play, And yeah, I mean, I think I passed the audition.
Yeah, yeah.
I hope so.
I think my favorite thing about Ed, once I started sitting down and watching it, was his obsession with chickens. That was hilarious.
What's that?
The obsession with chickens.
I love chickens. Absolutely. I know what. That's like, where did that come from? I don't know. It's like, that was the line they gave me, and I'm like, they were like, just say it again. It was awesome. Oh yeah, it was like,
Jay, you look so focused over there.
I am. I'm in this small room and there's just so much noise. So I'm trying to like mute it at the right time and also not mute it at the right time.
your black screen looks really good. It looks like it's got a drum set on it. Well,
yes.
awesome.
We'll go with that black screen, right?
Like I said, now
this is actually my room. So what happened was my wife decided to paint it black, me and my wife, and she accidentally tripped over a white paint tin or whatever it's called, paint can.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, screw it. So we just started splashing everything in black and white, and it ended up becoming this. And
I think you guys have started a trend. I'd say like, screw the green screen, just go with the black screen, and I think it's awesome.
There you go.
Absolutely. That's fantastic.
It looks awesome in person.
Yeah.
So Matt, how long have you been voice acting now?
Well, Jay, it's been, I always said 35 years, but then I finally did the math. I started in 1989 and it's now 2023. And so however many chickens that is, I think it's like just about 40 years now. Or no, what would that be? 89, I got my first gig. Well, I've got my first voice gig in 1989. I started acting in like 1982. So
4 years.
So yeah, 40. Yeah, so 42 years. Sort of officially, as this is going to be my craft for my my biz, which blows my mind. It's just like 13. I was like, what? Somehow I thought my life was half over, and I needed to get on with my dream, or nothing would happen. And found my first agent. Thank God she saw something in me, because I had no talent, boys. I just had enthusiasm. I wanted to do this. I watched the Partridge Family. I'm of that generation, right? And the Donnie and Marie Osmond show.
Yeah.
So I grew up sort of going, man, I want to be on TV. I want to do what all those guys do, right? And my first agent, she thank God she saw something in me and just said, she goes, you have no skills, but I think we can teach you. So she signed me up for a course that I said, absolutely, I'm in. And, so she said, don't let me down taking a chance on you. And she even paid for it too. And I paid her back when I got my first gig, which, to me was another confirmation that she saw something in me, that she said, like, I remember her kind of going like, she was like, imagine if Marge Simpson had a sister that was a chain smoker. My first agent, Dorothy Boyce, was an ex-model from New York, and she sort of sounded like this. She was like, she'd be like, either I'm delusional or I got a feeling about you, kid. And thank God she had that feeling, and it stuck. And I got to pay her back 3 weeks later, after that course finished, and I got to play Santa's lead elf at the Christmas display downtown. So,
nice.
In the span of like 3 weeks, basically my dream of this 40-year plus, career, was kickstarted, playing like in one of my favorite sort of times of the year as well. Right. So, Christmas gifts all around is what I say, so.
There you
go. Yeah. So thanks for being along on the journey, gentlemen.
That was vastly different from Ed. I love that, because you with Ed, it's lower, and when you did your other voice, it's just vastly different. That is insane.
I'm a voice actor. I'm talented. Sorry. Did I just say that out loud? Sorry. Yeah.
Well, I need to throw this out there. And this is gonna be I guess ride down memory lane for a lot of people. So back in the 90s, there was this wonderful, amazing cartoon called Street Sharks that you played jab. I
Wow,
loved that show.
dude. Yeah, the Jabster. I
Yes,
love
sir.
him. Yeah. Oh my God. Somebody
I
said that it's maybe coming back, but they haven't called me, so I have no idea.
I hope it does, and I hope they get you back. That would be
Oh,
phenomenal.
yeah, man. The 90s, I tell you, but very, very, very good to me. Very, very good. You know, it's wow, in the 2000s, and yeah, I mean, it's I'm very grateful, boys, because you know, like I say, I you know, I got a lot. I always believed in the ones that I meant to get are the ones I got, and the ones that I didn't get were the ones that someone else was meant to get, right? So,
Oh yeah.
you know, that philosophy has helped a lot, you know. And then even with the changing times in this last few years, you know, things got a little quiet for a while, but you know, it's wild how then sort of these cycles they sort of just come around just when you think like, oh, well, okay, it's been a good ride. I get a gig, right? And then I was just like, oh my God, okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, because it's you know, because for
Like
me,
surprise.
yeah, well, it's also too, it's another confirmation of that choice that I made at 13 that, you know, to me, my agent who had no idea really if I really had any talent at all, saw that spark and just went, you know what, let's stoke it. You know, she always told me, she's like, work your butt off. Don't ever not work hard on your career. But she said, yeah, I'm going to take a chance on you. And so I've always, you know, I've always taken that with, you know, much honor and, you know, I wish I could have actually thanked her in person, you know, a few years ago. She passed away, but you know,
No.
I always felt like, you know, because she changed my life, you know.
Yeah.
It's so I feel very, yeah, very grateful.
It's wonderful when things like that happen, when
Oh,
somebody takes a chance on you,
yep,
and
yep,
it doesn't always work out, but when it does, and
yep,
you're able to,
yep,
I guess, pay them back in some way,
yep,
it
yep.
just goes to show that there is humanity still in the
Well,
world.
it's wild too, because in, you know, I guess this, what was that, 1982, I guess, or three.
Mm.
You know, the course that I took was still $500. I had no money. So but she went, you know what? No, I'm gonna take a chance in you. So I'll front you the money. And I've never forgotten that, you know. And so getting that gig, you know, to be in the, you know, Santa's display in the mall downtown, I earned more money in 3 weeks over sort of the Christmas season than I'd ever like in my entire life. I was like, okay, wait a second. They pay me this, and so I can pay my agent back and have some left over, and they bring lunch. Oh my God, this is the best job ever. You know,
They
so
pay me, they feed me, and I
yeah,
can pay her back.
yeah, you know, and I hung out all the time, and then they finally went like, you gotta go home. You can't stay here any longer. I was just like, oh, okay, okay. You know, like, oh, yeah, like when I'm on sets, especially, I love just being there, and studios, same thing, man. I just love hanging out with the people, you know, and because I don't know, I just feel like I feel so, I don't know, just cozy there, you know?
That's one
So
thing I'd love to do at some point. Not necessarily be in a movie or a TV show, but hang out with the people behind the scenes,
Yeah,
the stage
yeah,
hands, the
yeah,
crew, and all that.
yeah, yeah,
Just to get, because I mean, we talk to you, we talk to all these other voice actors and everything, and we
yeah,
see from y'all's perspective how things roll and how things work out.
yeah,
But you don't really get a glimpse into the day of a stagehand, of a sound engineer,
yeah,
or
yeah,
anybody that sets up so that
yeah.
you can perfect your craft.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. You know, it's funny. It's reminding me of all these images of, like, you know, the sets that I've been on. I'm so exactly what you said. I'm there as I say, as the actor side of it,
Yeah.
but I'm fascinated, you know, and I'm always same thing. I'm always like, you know, sort of like the proverbial kid in me that, you know, I'm hanging out beside the sound guys going like, wow, you guys are making that work, you know, and, you know, the guys that are doing like the, you know, film playback, and like, you know, the directors and, you know, stagehand people and, you know, craft service. I'm like, it's an incredible craft. I mean, it's like you said, I feel very honored, to be able to be a part of it for so long.
Oh yeah.
It's like, so as soon as this, the last part of the actors strike here is over, hopefully soon, within, I think it's probably going to happen within a couple of weeks. I think that's my sense, but
I hope so.
Yeah, because it's been, I mean, it's funny, it needed to happen because obviously there's been some big changes that needed to be addressed. That, I think, as I think somebody said, they realized that this was going to be a biggie, because I think the last big Screen Actors, or SAG-AFTRA strike was like 45 years ago, right? So,
yeah,
and this is like all three sides of things, right? So, with AI coming in to, like, basically could just take place of a complete, like, writer. That's not right. Or like that with an actor, using their image once and then, paying you $100 and you can just use it forever and do whatever you want with it. That to me, that's just kind of scary, really.
Yeah.
You need to make that much money, so.
I'm all for progressing with technology and everything. That's fine. But like with the AI, rest them, Robin Williams, Jason David Frank, and all these other ones, Chris Farley that have passed.
Yeah.
I get what they want to do, but it seems to me, and this is just my opinion, that you're trampling on their legacy by doing that.
Yeah.
And I can't get behind that, man.
Well, and the thing is in just in the spirit of saving more money as the only reason to kind of be able to do it, to me, that's just like, you kind of lose the art form right there then, right? It's like that, you kind of taint all these legends that have just paved such a beautiful path, right? So yeah, I mean, I think, I'm a firm believer in the power of the human spirit, as well as the power of our brains to be able to go like, okay, you know what, let's choose what's ultimately right for all, and so, I think it's actually going to be a really good outcome is my sense, but that's just me, Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of people and stuff, man, it feels so good to talk now.
Go, Jay, go!
So what had happened was,
not you, Matt. Matt, you're cool. I was kind of pointing that jab toward Tank.
He's pointing at me because every once in a while I'll go on a rant about something, and he's like,
"Shut up!"
He's
gonna like pull you.
You're right. I was literally about to text and be like, "Will you shut up for 5 minutes?"
Step out of it. Okay, ladies.
Co-host.
Jay, the floor is yours, sir.
Okay,
next question from the front row. Yes. Jay, is that your name?
Okay. Me. Hi, Jay. Hi, buddy. What's your question?
My name's Jay. I'm never mind. Yeah.
Hi, Jay. There's no judgment.
So speaking of people, this is what I wanted to ask you. Do you still by chance talk to Tony and Samuel?
Mm-hmm.
You do? Okay.
I talked to Sam. Up until just a couple of years ago, me and Sam were still working on tons of stuff together.
Okay.
And then, but Tony and I, every year without fail, we Facebook each other on our birthdays. Then we have a little chin wag back and forth, which is just awesome. So I mean, they're doing great. I mean, Tony is definitely out of the biz. And when he left Vancouver, he's like, yeah, I'm done. He was a child actor, so he'd been doing it for a long time, and he's just thriving, doing really good. He's married, he's got a couple kids. I think he just got married again, actually. I think so. Got remarried. I think is that what they call it? But yeah, and Sam's over on Vancouver Island, which is not too far away from sort of where we all work together here in Van.
Yeah.
And they're all doing great, man. Everybody's thriving,
Good.
That's like good, yeah. I mean, probably more up to speed on Sam's, life. But like I said, I'm for a couple minutes every year on my birthday and then Tony's birthday. It's like, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Love you, man. Sounds good.
I'm
And it's
glad.
my birthday
I'm glad
coming up.
y'all guys are still together.
Oh,
Still
absolutely.
talk to each other.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
do-
I mean, you can't go through like so many years being like workmates like that, I think. And that's where I think is actually kind of cool about the voiceover industry is casts just bond, and we bonded. I mean, sometimes it felt more like we were basically, I think Sam had a great saying for it because like often we would get stuck and one of us would get picked on for one of the episodes. So like meaning like Danny wouldn't let the take go until he heard it the way he thought it should be done. And every episode, one of us you ended up becoming the chosen one. And you didn't want to be the chosen one, but it always happened. You do a line and I'm thinking like, oh my God, it's going so good today, and then Ed would just have to like just go like, oh, how do you get water from this thing or whatever, and Danny'd be like, that's not Ed, do it again, right? And and then 50 takes later, you're just like, oh, what do you want? So he definitely, when he let it go, it went great. But sometimes a train wreck just when you thought, oh my God, we haven't gotten it, and then it happens. So that's it.
Are you guys like your characters? Like, are you like Ed, where you're just like this lovable, awesome guy, and is Tony like Ed or Eddie? Excuse me.
Tony is like single D. I'm like Eddie. I'm shyster. I don't really like people very much. Sam, I don't know what Sam is. Do you know? No, I'm just kidding. I think we're actually that's what's kind of wild now with that question. It's kind of wild where they say like when they say like couples kind of like dress alike, where they start to look alike. Holy shit! When we started watching the show, oh, is it okay to swear?
Yeah,
you're fine. You're fine. Yeah.
Okay. But I was like, holy shit, we are these guys because I do have a tendency to be like sort of more. I like to put some joy into the room, right? Christmas is my favorite season of the year. Tony, literally when he moved away, he worked in the oil patch up north in Canada, and and so like. And he's basically running his own show. So he's a lot like Eddie that way, right? He was just like, okay, they're going to do business. Here we go. Right. And Sam, he's very germophobic. Like when I go and visit him, he wipes down everything. He won't tell you he does, but he, like if you sit on the couch and stuff, he's, oh, what's that over there?
So Sam, if you're watching this, sorry, not sorry.
Oh, buddy, don't visit him. I mean, visit him absolutely. But he's got a wife now, which is she's just so lovely, and so she, she's mellowed him out a bit. He's not so uptight now,
Yeah.
Just wear a hazmat suit when you go visit, so he doesn't.
Well,
so he is like Double D.
You know what? And the three of us actually were. I realized one time only. The three of us actually went away for the weekend together. So me, Sam, Tony, we went to Sammy's place. They had a family place over on the island and just on the West Coast. And like all of a sudden, I was like, is it okay to say too? We got pretty drunk.
Yeah.
Okay, we were away. It was fun. And we got so hammered. And all our personalities came out even more. So I was like, I love you guys. You guys like for real. I just love you guys. And I'm always just like practically like just kissing them because I love them so much. And Tony's, he's like smoking cigarettes and he's throwing them in the estuary. And then Sam, which is like a little protected part of their water that they have. And Sam's like, Tony, you can't throw your cigarette butts down there, right? And he's like, yeah, whatever, it's just fish, and I'm just like, so yeah, we definitely were a lot like our characters, 100%.
Nice.
So
great.
yes. I've never actually told that story, but it's such
What a surprise!
oh, it was great.
There's always a first at the hesitation station.
I just remember because I was
Exactly.
sitting there and we were, like we'd hung out obviously so many times together, but never the three of us had gone away together,
Yeah.
right? And so, oh my God, it was just
Boys trip.
it was awesome. It was awesome. Yep, one time only, and it was brilliant.
We need to. Well, Tony's done with the business, so I highly doubt he would ever come on. But Sam, if you're watching this,
never
you
say
should come
never.
on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Never say
You know
never.
what? Did you reach out to him, to his agent?
I did not.
What's that? I'm hearing an Ed and Eddie reunion.
Let's do it.
I'm game. Yeah, no, absolutely. Just reach out to his agent.
Yeah, Jay, reach out now.
Okay.
Before we go any further,
yes,
I have to bring this up. So my main fandom, even after all this time, is Power Rangers. But I've loved Ed, and Eddie, and the Grim Adventures of Billy Mandy and all that. But I'm also a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan.
Yeah, yo.
Now,
Bunga, brother.
a lot of people gave this movie flack. I don't know why, but I loved the TMNT 3.
Are you just saying that since the actor's right here?
No, that's actually my favorite one because they go back to feudal Japan, and I had a big thing for samurais.
Oh, well, you know what? Thank you, my friend. Being able to play Raph, it's funny, just like Ed, little did I know that, I mean, I knew the Turtles were, pretty popular, but I didn't know how popular they were, till, like, till we were filming. And, every day we ended up actually filming. It was originally, we were going to go to Japan to shoot that. But then the producers went like, very expensive in Japan. No. So we went to Oregon to shoot it there. And they built this incredible, like, period specific or period accurate, I guess, Japanese village up in the mountains just outside of Astoria, Oregon. And it was magic. And then, like I said, having just literally like a lineup of people around the sound studio where we were shooting in the parking lot, basically waiting to see, if they could come and have a high five between takes, and, moms and dads with new babies, and, and us blind, deaf, and dumb. So not really knowing who we were, because I would hear Noel, my puppeteer, in my ear, right? And he'd be like, Matt, you got a mom and a dad and a new baby. Just put your arms out, because they would wait till we were on a break to then let people in to just come in and say hi. And often I was just inside, because like I'm inside the suit, so I can't see diddly. Sorry, can't see much, except I could hear Noel, saying in my ear, saying, "Hey, here's a mom and dad and a new baby," or whatever. And it's so cool, because little did I know that about, I guess, 20 plus years later, we did a run around North America. And so Astoria was actually one of the towns that we ran through, and we did a bunch of school events. And this one school, I'll never, fellas, it was unbelievable that, 20 plus years later, when I busted into Raphael, this lady in the back of the theater that we were in was like, "Oh my God." And I thought, oh, okay, she's obviously a fan of the show, whatever. That's like pretty cool. So after our presentation, she comes flying up to me, gives me the biggest bear hug, and then pulls out a photo. And it's a photo of her daughter and me and her husband and me in the turtle suit. So she was one of the new babies, right? That we were like basically holding, mom and dad on either side. And then she shows me another picture. Her baby's now 21 and off to college, right? So it was just like, what?
Crazy.
Yeah, it was amazing, So like two major milestones in my life, and it was so neat that it was, again, my choice at 13 to be an actor helped to kind of like just solidify why we were there. In that moment, it was obviously because we were running. It was our tour called Run for One Planet,
Mhm.
but it was this iconic character that I got to play that like that, right? Had this incredible, base with people. And then this mom comes up and says, "Oh my God, we heard you guys were going to be running into our town." And, it's just like, wow, and it's neat because being able to say like that with say even the Turtles and Ed, I think in many ways why I feel super grateful, obviously as an actor, just to get a job is obviously, you want to work, right? You become an actor,
Yeah.
you want to get a gig. But I never really knew how much the fans loved these shows. So then being able to go out on something like that, to be able to then be, like that with a mom and dad and a daughter, and then a teacher at this one school. I'll never forget. I think it was in Houston, and he's a big, tall African American gentleman. He was, I think he was like the vice principal, and he came up to me after the presentation, right? And because we were talking about Raphael and the Tenderheart and Ed and stuff. And he's had a tear in his eyes, and he went, "Dude, being a fan of the Ninja Turtles when I was a kid helped me to live by my own code because I grew up in a really rough neighborhood. My mom and dad, were Splitsville, and watching the Turtles taught me to believe in myself. Raphael, watching him, help an old lady cross the road when no one else is looking. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It helped him start to believe in himself, so much so that he said that's one of the biggest reasons why he became a teacher. So again, he's saying thank you to me for playing this part called Raphael, and I'm thanking him, saying, "Dude, wow, thanks for watching the shows," right? And so for like again, it's like these goosebump moments where I'm like, it's like it all had a reason, and thank God I trusted that whisper inside my heart that was saying, "Hey, be an actor, man." It's like, "Oh, bless you. Did he just sneeze?"
I think
Yeah,
so.
I died a little inside.
His whole tank. Did you see Tank's thing? His Tank's whole thing just like blew. I thought Tank blew up.
I do that every once in a while, a little spontaneous
Come
combustion.
back, buddy. Come back. But Alex, so that's where I'm again. I hope maybe I'm not sorry. I've said it maybe too many times, but thanks for watching
Okay.
the shows and inviting me on, because to me it's another confirmation of that choice that I made as a young kid, right?
Yeah.
That I
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like we all have these whispers that I think that's our job when we're being born to
Mhm.
say like, okay, how am I going to light it up in the world, right?
Yeah.
You guys came in, you guys are lighting it up having this show, right? You're lighting it up in your lives, doing the lives that you're doing, right? And so to me, this is like that's what we're here to do,
Right.
be kind, shine the light, and be good to other people, and be good to
And
yourself as well, right?
I think that's
Absolutely.
one thing that a lot of people, I don't want to say they don't get, but they may not realize it at the time. It doesn't matter who you are, you can always turn something around for somebody
100%,
else.
100%.
And the actors and the voice actors, such as yourself, whether y'all realize it or not, have this magnetism.
Oh yeah.
Like you'll run across fans at cons or coming on podcast or what have you, and somebody will see it or somebody will meet you, and it's just you see that sparkle in their eye because it's like, oh my God, this is my childhood hero. He's done so much for me and changed
Yeah,
my life. I
yeah,
have to let him know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what, Tank, you're bang on, dude, because it's like I think that's why, like I said, I always knew that these roles were popular, but I didn't realize how deeply popular. But at
Yeah.
the same time, for me, how much then that now allows me when I'm able to be, when I'm invited to conventions as an example, which thank God, it's come around, which it seems like now, people are like, we need more Ed and Matt in the world. I'm so grateful because I've been having moments like that again, which is so, it like that to me confirms the choice. right? To, you know, to be able to
Right.
just have an exchange with somebody and see them go, oh my God, like for real, like, you know, Ed and Eddie changed my life or helped me guide my life, or, you know, or all the other proverbial ways that, you know, being able to do this as a profession has such a positive possibility to be able to positively impact people. That for me is, I'm like, that's, to me, that's the greatest gift, to be able to do that, you know? You know, so now I've become a little more selfish, where I'm more like Eddie now, going like, I want more gigs so that then I can come and meet more sparkly people, you know? So I'm, you know, so I'm saying it loud and proud, man. I am in, you know, I will meet people at conventions and other ways in this form till the day the good Lord takes me home. And I hope that's for many, many years, you know, but,
Well, I think Jay and I are going to get together after this and see if we can't reach out, because Mississippi has a couple cons throughout the year. So we'll see if we can't reach out to them and get you
let's do
down
it.
here.
Definitely
100%.
add you into my autograph. Like I don't really show, but you can see right there, I got my autograph table right there, our shelf. And you will be going on there with everybody else.
Yes, sir. I will be getting one as well.
Thank you.
And
That is
and it
awesome.
kind of goes back to like what you just said. You said that it's been, you know, 40 years you've been doing this, and you decided to do this when you were younger. I'll tell you two things that Tank is probably tired of me saying.
Tank, go like this.
Yeah, Tank, do that. So since I was about 12 years old, I've wanted to be a voice actor. And unfortunately, I gave up on the dream because I'm from Mississippi and I couldn't go anywhere.
Right.
And that's all I've ever wanted to do. And but see, with you didn't give up on the dream, and you kept going, and you kept making these gigs happen and making these things happen. You've had help. You were able to go to where you needed to be. Now, with that being said, I want you to know that I went on to a show that I watched as a young kid.
Yeah.
Clicked on your character specifically and looked up your name and reached out to you because Ed was my favorite character. So that's what I'm saying. You have done things right in my book.
Oh, thank you for that, man. And you know what? Believe that there's always a way that you can re-inspire that original dream. Because if it's still, I mean, in many ways, you're being a voice actor by having this podcast.
Yeah.
You're using your voice, right? You're getting incredibly, you're like what you guys are mastered. If I had to put together a podcast, it would be very scary, gentlemen. Like if the computer turns off and then I can't figure out how to turn it back on, I'm fucked. I'm the most technically challenged person on the planet. But it overjoys me to hear that. Like I think that we all have this route that we need to take, right? And so it's up to us to go like, okay, like that. If your dream is still, if it's still kind of kicking at you, Jay, going like, hey, Jay's got some voices. This is actually in many ways, Jay, probably one of the best times for somebody to get into voice, because it's all done through MP3s right now.
Yeah.
Right? Or more so than it's ever been, right? Like you don't have to go to LA as an example, to say, you know, become a voice actor. You could probably do some stuff right there. You know, it's you know, it's, or just different ways of being about it. I mean, I'm very blessed that I think in many ways my decision to be an actor was also because I heard that Vancouver was, you know, becoming a film center. So, and I mean, obviously it was the dream. So I knew I was going to do it regardless. That was like, in many ways, thank God, because I didn't have a ton of confidence in other ways, but in this thing, for some reason, I was like, no, I don't know how I'm going to make it happen, but I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that there was going to be sort of like this, well, in many ways, I was really fortunate because Vancouver, like I said, in that moment in time, was just starting to get a lot of film and TV and voiceover. right? And so my sort of like my dream and my youthful, like I didn't allow the other voice that can come up that goes like, "You're a piece of shit. You have no talent. You don't," like that came enough later.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? So thank God in many ways, my non-experience, I think in many ways worked for me because I really had nothing to give, obviously, except for saying, "Oh, hi, I'm your 11 o'clock appointment. I'm Matt Hill from Tsawwassen, and I'm here to be an actor." Like I'll never forget that was my opening to my agent through this cloud of like thick cigarette smoke. It was like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "Oh, hi, yeah, I'm your 11 o'clock." And she's like, yeah, Matt Hill. Oh, yeah. She's like, "You got any experience, Matt Hill?" And I'm like, "Nope, but I really want to do this, and it's just I just know I can do it, right?" And all this. And
So was it when you walked in, you saw this person smoking on a cigarette?
it was literally
Right
it was.
Mhm.
I set the scene for you. I literally took the bus from a place called Tsawwassen, where I grew up, which was right on the border with the U.S. And so it was an hour away to Vancouver downtown. And literally, after convincing my mom and dad that day that I was too sick to go to school, that was probably my first Oscar-winning performance. I'll tell you, because we've all done it, right? Where it's like, "Mom, Dad, I don't feel very good." Usually, because we want to
can't make it.
And as soon as they went to work, I literally sprinted to the bus because I had to get on the 9 o'clock bus. My parents left for work at about 8:15, so I had just enough time to like literally sprint behind this Chinese restaurant that we live behind and make the bus because then it's an hour into town. And then I sprinted down to a place called Gastown, which is where the agency was, and went up this 3-story walk up, and went to the top of the stairs, opened up the door, Jerry Lodge Talent Agency. I remember that, Jerry Lodge Talent Agency. I opened up the door, and literally this thick cloud of cigarette smoke just literally took my breath away. I'm like, "Hi, I'm here to be an actor." I said, "I'm your 11 o'clock," and that, that started it all, right? It's yeah.
Was it that cigarette voice when you walked in?
And the beautiful thing about Dorothy Boyce, she was so beautiful. She was an ex-model. And so she was long and lean and she was so lovely. I just loved her. But she, back in the day, you could smoke in buildings, right? And, so she had this raspy, thick, like really, yeah, she was like, the Simpsons definitely should have made a character of her, but I never forgot that because I love that as well. She said, "I'm going to take a chance on you." And then she said, "But you got to take this course so that you don't basically shit the bed and let me down while I'm taking a chance on you." Right.
Yeah.
And literally it was that day I had to sign. That's why, my parents were just like, "What? You signed up for, you don't have any money. How are you going to be able to ever?" So my dad actually made me deregister myself from the course, which started like 3 days later on a Saturday. Right. And Dorothy called my dad and said, "Seriously, Mr. Hill, I got a feeling about your kid. So I'll make him a deal. If he works hard and he can pay me back when he starts making money after taking this course." And so, my dad, who was an accountant, he's like, "All right, works for me." So, right.
What's that? I don't have to pay for it? Yeah. We're
Bet.
good.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? So I always believe it's like things like that happen for the biggest reasons. And I think for me, because I don't know. Imagine if I got there and the scenario was, you have no, you have no experience. Get out of here, kid.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't have believed in myself as much. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just so glad that in that moment, it was being invited in to start working really hard on my craft.
It's funny that you say it like that because that makes me remember a line from Avatar: The Last Airbender that Uncle Iroh says. It's always nice to believe in yourself, but faith from others can go a long way.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. Right. It's because that's such a brilliant line because it's so truthful. Right. Because
Oh yeah.
I've had I've had years where it's almost the opposite, where I've been going like, what? I didn't get that? Fuck. Okay. Like, and I've never ever thought that I should get everything, because I know that I'm not meant for everything, obviously.
Yeah.
But there was a period where literally I didn't get anything. And then I lost roles, which I wasn't. I mean, I've lost roles before because they recast, or the producers go a different way. That's just part of the biz.
Right.
But I never had a sort of significantly dead period where it looked like everything that I was touching was basically going the opposite way. And this was in the last 5 years, and it really threw me for a loop, because I was like going like, guys, I haven't changed. What did I do? And it's just, sometimes you just, for whatever reason, the universe has got bigger plans for you to go, okay. So, I mean, thank God I'm so true to my, it's so funny you talk about the pebbles in my shoes, because I ran across Canada, because during COVID, I was going to do another run for One Planet, but then obviously when COVID arrived, I stayed local and did 10,000 Ks across Canada, but did it all locally in Vancouver.
Yeah.
And so, same thing. It was just, that was my moment to go, okay, I'm obviously not meant to be working on the voices and stuff right now. Okay, go use your body and do what you love to do. And so I had my own version of doing another tour to be able to go meet people. And I just made people that I was able to see the kids that I wanted to go and be with in schools. Right. So it was brilliant, definitely helped pass the time.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, speaking about brilliant, and I'm sorry because you look like you're about to say something today, but I have to bring this up. So, one of my favorite animes that I initially got into, the first one that drew me into it was Rurouni Kenshin. But then I ended up going down the rabbit hole with anime, and I found Ronin Warriors. And you play Rio of the Wildfire. That anime is a masterpiece.
Rio of the Wildfire. Remember that flare up? Oh my God.
That between Rurouni Kenshin, Ronin Warriors,
Yeah,
and Saint Seiya, that just drugged me down that rabbit hole.
Yep. Well, it's funny. Doing Ronin Warriors was it was my first big anime show, and so as opposed to saying doing Prelay, we were all in the studio together. Anime, you do all your lines by yourself, right?
Yeah.
And so you just got to make. It's like painting fences. You got to do the line as quickly as these 3 beeps that we use up here, and then and then they redo what they do, right? So. Yeah, Ronin Warriors was man, what an education in like sweating. Was, some of those extended screams were just like my vocal cords, they hurt at the end. Like I think I bled once, I was just all of a sudden I'm like, oh, do you see blood? The director's like, I think we need to take the break.
I think we need to calm down.
Yeah.
All you're gonna
do.
All you're gonna do is that's all you.
I know, and the old proverbial, did I do that?
You almost made me spit out my drink.
Let's forget anime though. What about the time that Mr. Matt Hill decided to go on Mucha Lucha?
Oh my God!
Yes,
dude,
yes.
Flea was my favorite character. I'm sorry, Flea was.
Thank you very much. Very much. That's funny because I had no idea again how popular that sort of genre of like it's art imitating life, obviously, right? I didn't know that there was like real Spanish like guys that like that's their deal. It was amazing, man. I loved it. I loved it. So much fun.
So, what would you rather? This is my question. What would you rather play on? Would you rather play on anime or cartoons? What is, I guess, easier for you?
Well, that's actually a good. That's a great question, because you'd think that easier would be the anime, but it's wrong. It's not. Anime is actually. That's why I said it's a sweat fest, because a lot of the anime will, again, because you've got the time restraints, and you got to get the acting in all within the time that they've animated this thing, right? So it's very, it's a lot more technical. So it's fun. I find prelay way more fun. Just, because again, I'm with some of my favorite people, and we're creating new characters that then they animate it after we've done our recording, right? So I mean, but they both belong for sure. But definitely, yeah. I think what was the last anime I did was a show called Beyblade. Blade.
Yeah.
Say that fast. Blade burst. They're like, Maddie, do it again. That wasn't clear. Yeah, I said Blade.
Beyblade.
Just play blah 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 blah. Okay, I'm done.
And the director's like, you didn't get the line right. I'm like, yeah, it's right in my mind. Let's move on.
I don't know what you're
Let's
talking
keep
about.
going.
Snip, cut, and we're good.
What got you into Mobile Gundam Seed? How did that happen?
Same thing, man. I was like, what the fuck? Same thing. There's a studio in Vancouver that did a lot of that stuff. So thank God they brought me in for it. And there's a wonderful director in Vancouver at Ocean Studios called Carl. And he's always been a big believer in what I do. And so we pieced together the audition. And I guess, like that, I passed, and they gave me the part. So, but same thing. I had no idea how popular Gundam was, and then was going to be, till like even now, like I'm being asked to go to a convention in December, and Ed is obviously hugely popular, but then they found out that I'm Kira, and that's so popular as well now again. So I'm just like, thank you, cartoons. So,
I'm sorry. He said Carl, and I instantly thought, Judy.
Oh my God.
That stupid song. Jay pulls up all these videos to torture everybody with. And one of them is Carl Weezer from Jimmy Neutron singing a song.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. Nice. It's been said like quite a ride, man. I'm just so stoked that like again, it finds like all these different generations of fans that to me is, I mean, thank you. That's why I just love meeting people, So I just call my agent and like, get me in. I want to go as many conventions as I can. So please. It's like, she's like, I know, I'm working on it. I'm like, no, work more.
Work harder.
I want to be with people. It's like, that's probably my biggest impetus. Cause like, honestly, dude, I think I get to go to one in this weekend. I'm just down the road from where I'm living here in Canada or in BC. And again, it's another opportunity to like this, basically have this one-on-one for a weekend. Right. And and they ask me questions and they're really interested in what I'm saying. Hopefully, so it's neat because it's like again, I know I always cycle back to this, but I go like, God, thank God I chose this path, because it's like, I don't know what, I mean, maybe sometimes I think like when I wouldn't book stuff for a while, I thought, maybe I should have just been a bricklayer, or maybe I should have just like, and then I'm like, no, because you're just not really good at that either. So, I'll be like, be the best bricklayer you can be if that's what you're meant to do, right? It's like,
whatever you do, give it 110%.
One of my best friends is a master carpenter, and so same thing. Like I can't even hold a hammer because I probably do it wrong, right? But he builds houses that I'm like, what the? It's
what the hell?
Yeah, it's like you built that. He's like, yeah, and I'm building this one over here too. And I'm just like, oh, master. I secretly wish I was actually a better like a builder, because I watch these home renovation shows and I'm just like, wow.
Same here. I can't even fix a simple leak in my kitchen right now.
Yeah. You know what? You know how I fix the leak?
Call somebody.
Well, I call somebody. And
I
just turn the water off from outside.
There you go. That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
that'll stop it.
Yep. Or just put my thumb in it, you know?
There you go.
Speaking
But I
of
know.
stopping,
But you know what I mean? It's like, seriously, I'm so technically challenged that like if the computer somehow didn't turn on today, I would have been fucked. I'd be like,
Reschedule.
guys, I'm
I don't
sorry.
know.
No idea. It's like, sometimes, yeah. Ugh. They're like,
Sometimes life likes to mess with you.
yeah, no doubt.
What were you saying, Tank?
So I have to ask because I did not know that you voiced this character. So growing up, I had a Sega and I played the crap out of Sonic. Then Sonic Underground came out
Yeah.
and Trevor was in it. And I just realized the other day that you voiced Trevor from Sonic Underground. How'd that come about? Like what was it like being on the Sonic lore? Yes.
Well, it's same thing. It's like for being an actor, it's like getting the audition, do that same process, get the call from my agent that I got the part, and then off we go, right? So it's just a beautiful way of doing stuff, right? So to be able to, like, same thing. I didn't know how popular Sonic was, and it's like now I guess it's sort of hit a well, because they're doing, like, what was it? They're doing a whole different. Didn't they do a couple movies and stuff?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
too.
they came
Yeah,
out with that live action.
Yeah.
And then they
Yeah.
came with
About to
Knuckles.
come out with 3 here shortly.
yeah.
Are they
And
really?
It's like,
Yep.
oh yeah, man. But it's sometimes like surprising to me that I'm like, wow, that's yeah. I mean, that's I just go back to, like, thank God I chose to do this, and they keep liking what I do, and give me the part. It's like, because for real, right? It's just like, yeah. I don't know. That's I just, yeah. I don't think I'd know what else to do, to be honest with you. Because even through, like, the big pauses and stuff, I did some other things, but I still, the second that I get an audition and then I get the call, you got the part. I'm as excited and grateful as I was when I was 13 and I got that first part. So to me, that still tells me that, okay, you're on the right path, Grasshopper. Just keep going forward.
Go be a carpenter if this doesn't work out.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
No, you're gonna keep going. I'm just kidding with you.
Well,
I'd like to build my own house, but I would hire my buddy to be the contractor, and then he would say, just like, okay, Maddie, stay away from everything. I'm like,
don't touch the tools. Go stand over there.
good plan.
Be like,
I'm like
go
that
up to your
guy.
buddy. What does this do, bud? And he's
Exactly,
holding
yeah.
like a grinder.
So I know, like those, ones that have like the big blades and stuff. I'm just like,
Yep.
fuck off, man.
Keep doing you.
I would be the guy that would step on the freaking, not the ladder, but the rake, and it would come up backwards and whack me in the head, and just,
Old cartoon classic.
like that guy. Absolutely.
That's why I don't trust this guy with power tools.
So, Tank, I got a question for you.
What's up?
Have you ever heard of a movie called Shanghai Noon?
Ooh.
Oh, that one and Shanghai Night.
Have I? So I'm looking at this trivia, and turns out the dude right below us actually chilled with Jackie Chan during the shooting of that.
Really?
Yeah. Me and
That's-
Jackie. Yeah.
He's like,
awesome.
not a big deal or anything.
Not to toot my horn, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If you want to see, sometimes we get to work with people that it's like, they say, some people, what is the adage? Like, some stars or some people you admire, you don't want to meet, because then you meet them and you go like, ooh, they were a bit of a jerk or whatever.
Yeah.
Jackie was the absolute opposite. He was such a gentleman, such a generous dude. English was a second language, right? So he had, he's had his interpreter at that point, would write everything phonetically in Cantonese for his lines. But between takes, like he just juggled everything and was just like just a joy to be around, and yeah, it was a really, that was actually a very important. I realized for me as an actor, I realized that like I just wanted to do the best job I could do. And I got a really nice compliment from one of the crew, I think on like the 4th day that we were there. And he's just like, hey man, I see a lot of guys, and you're working with a legend up there, and just want you to know, man, you're going toe to toe with that legend. So nice job, And I'm like, wow, thank you. That's crew people, they see it all, right? And they don't have to say anything. So I thought that was really nice that he, obviously what I did on that role, he was really digging. So I was like, so I'm like, thank you very much, and and I remember thinking like, man, if that was the last film that I did, I would be a happy man,
Were you in the film?
Yeah, Shanghai Nights. Yeah.
You were. I didn't know that.
Oh, sorry. I thought that's why you brought it up. I'm sorry.
No, it was in the trivia of behind the voice actors.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, Jay's like,
he was the deputy.
Why is he talking about Shanghai Nights?
The deputy? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, shit.
Oh, I could have sworn it was your segue going like, the guy below us. I was like, that's me. That's me. Like, oh, shit. Yes.
Surprise.
Yes, I was. I was in Shanghai Nights, and yeah, I mean, same thing. I wish it was more than just 4 days. I wish I could have been on the whole thing, like, but hey, it's
Hey, I mean, you got to meet a legend, you got to be in a movie. I mean, can't really go wrong.
And and like I said, I really, just a beautiful experience with another human being who is just so creative, kind. Like talk about a philanthropist. The guy's given millions away behind the scenes to different organizations and stuff, right? So that's a guy who gets it, right?
Yeah.
It's like he realizes. I just wish that Owens would have been there still, but he'd already gone. He'd already finished stuff. So because I would have just loved to watch them do their thing, because that's what I heard is that's like when they got back on set together, it was like no time had passed. Right, and they're back doing their antics, having fun. So maybe there'll be a Shanghai 3, probably not, but
Never know, never say never. I mean,
never say never. That's true.
I mean, I highly super doubt that Jackie Chan would watch this, but if he does, I'm sorry for the bad accent. So, I watched a video about Chris Tucker. He did a what is it? An interview with E! Entertainment.
Yeah.
And he was talking about Jackie. And he's like, I went to China to go hang with Jackie.
Yeah.
And Jackie came up and was like, you like that hotel? And that's my hotel. And apparently he owns like half of China.
He's kind of a legend. He's kind of a bit, they probably, everybody in China's like, yes, you want to buy that? Yeah, yours. Here, have.
Look, when he reaches the heights that man has reached, there is not really that much off limit.
Yeah. Oh man, I know. Yeah. Well, but just to, I was like, because I was an extra in one of his early films that was done in Vancouver, called Rumble in the Bronx.
I love that movie.
Did you see that movie? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
multiple times.
First times being an extra, and I remember just thinking like, who's this guy from Hong Kong? Holy shit! He was just jumping off everything and just like like it was crazy. Well, you watch the movie, so right? And so little did I know that like however many years later, the proverbial sands of time would then have us being able to do a movie together. Well, not a movie together, but me going to be able to work with them was just like wow. Yeah.
You never know that. Look, the world might be big, but it is small. 100%.
You got that right. You bet your sweet Bippy. That's for sure.
Speaking of small, you're talking about the world being small. You know what else is small? Hamsters.
Hamsters.
And my boy was in Hamtaro.
Good segue.
I
Ted.
loved that
Good
show.
one. Let's see what he did there. Huh?
Rest in peace, Hamtaro. We miss you.
He didn't die. It was the bird that died. Hamtaro got given away by my mom.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Never mind.
So I've seen every episode of Hamtaro because I thought it was phenomenal. And
Yeah.
I ended up buying a hamster. I went to PetSmart or Petco somewhere, and I went and looked at hamsters because I've always wanted a hamster and a guinea pig. And funnily enough, there was a hamster at the store that looked like Hamtaro, orange and white. And I was like, I need that one. He was sitting in the food dish just staring at the wall like he was having a crisis. I was like, yeah, I need that one. So I named him Hamtaro, and he bit everybody.
Well, that's pretty cool, man. Well, little did you know, Tank, that it was actually a what was it? It was a oh, it wasn't a mouse, was it? It was a no, a gerbil. You said
It was a hamster.
It was a hamster. That's right. Isn't it? What's the difference between hamsters and a gerbil? With one of theirs, if you pull it up, like their tail pulls off or something.
I do not know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I thought maybe you guys had that. You know that.
I think gerbils might be a bit bigger.
Yeah.
Hamsters are about the size of his nose.
Little guys.
I will tell you this. You want to hear a funny story?
Are you doing the bird story?
I am doing the bird story.
The bird story. What's the bird story, friend?
The bird story was he saw no. He saw a parrot come in to his job, and he's like, I want a parrot. Like, I want a bird. So, you know,
the bird that came in was well trained. Let me add
that. Yeah. So,
very well trained.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make Tank happy. So we all went out, me, my wife, my buddy Will, and my buddy Blaine. We all went out to PetSmart and got him a parakeet. And first off, that parakeet was doomed at the beginning. Like, it was fine at first. Everything was fine.
Yeah.
Then we brought it home, and the bird decided to fly right where our deep freezer was and then get stuck on a rat trap, like one of those glue traps. So we're like, okay, we got to get him off. So because we didn't want to hurt him.
Yeah.
We didn't want him to, die. So we got him off little by little and got a little hot water and got him off.
Yeah.
And so Tank comes over. He's like, y'all got me a what? So he has the bird for what, 2 weeks? Maybe?
So I had the bird for like 2, maybe 3 weeks tops. I come in from work, bird's hyperventilating, chirp, chirp, chirp. I feed it, I let it out for a little bit. 3 hours later, I finally get it back in its cage because it's an asshole. Put food and water in its dishes. Put the sheet over it so I can go to sleep. And I go back to my room and I start playing PlayStation. About 4 hours pass, and I'm thirsty. So I get up to get a drink, and I realize I have not heard my bird for the past 4 hours. So I'm like, oh, he's asleep. So I go and I lift up the sheet to look at him and make sure he's good. He is head first in the water dish, gone. And I'm just like, hold up. So the bird ended up drowning itself.
Oh,
and I'm just like, what? Yeah. That was yeah.
Sorry, bird. Rest in peace, man. Wow.
Yeah, it was
crazy.
That was the night.
I'm sure it was. Wow, poor guy.
Yeah, I'm still confused about it. Like, I didn't think I was that bad of an owner.
Yeah, man.
So I guess we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Do you want to go ahead and give out your socials so that way people can follow you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think my socials are my website is matt-hill.com. So put a hyphen or whatever between. And that's pretty much like I say on my website, man, it's the the 4 pages of animated parts of my life, man. So it's so yeah, people want to go there, reach out, say hello. And I'm gonna start putting the conventions that I'm gonna be appearing at. I'll probably start just posting them on Facebook or something like that. So so yeah, my face what's my Instagram handle's like Matt Hill _inspire, I think.
Okay.
I say that, I think. Yeah. Oh, actually, if you go to my website, my socials are on the they're already at the bottom of the page, I think.
Mm-hmm.
How can you tell I go to my website lots? Sorry, fellas.
I think it's all there.
Oh man, but gentlemen, thank you so much. It's like I was saying, it's such an honor, and it's funny. I used to just say this to the kids that I talked to. It'd be like, because I'd be able to do Ed and Raphael to kind of finish it off with Tenderheart. So I'd always be like, hey, yo, sparkly peeps and peepettes, believe in yourself, keep kicking your feet towards your dreams, and always remember to be kind to yourself and to the planet, as well as your mom on Mother's Day too. And then
From Tenderheart, hey, take care of yourself, okay? Bye.
That was awesome. I see you got a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I think the last thing is our last 2 things. Will you follow us?
I will. Where do you want me to follow you to?
Anywhere.
I will follow you guys. If you guys want me to follow you, you just say. I just say yes. Okay.
We're gonna go to the chicken farm.
Go to the chicken farm, Eddie.
And,
yes, gentlemen, I would be honored to follow you guys. Yes. So, what do you need me to do? Like literally, do I go to your
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok?
We are everywhere. This guy made sure we are everywhere.
I will get somebody who's not technically challenged to help me follow you guys if I can't, but I'll do my best. Now I'm pretty sure I can. I think I can take care of that.
You're fine. I mean, that will work. We'll be happy with that.
Well, fellas, thank you. It's been a great honor, man. Thanks, fellas.
Yeah, the honor is all amazing. Ours. We appreciate it so much. All right, guys, that is a wrap for us. It's been a pleasure having Mr. Matt Hill on. Jay, you got anything else you want to say?
That's it. It was a great interview. We appreciate him coming on, and we hope to see y'all next episode. Make sure to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff that's here.
Go to Mr. Matt's website, follow him on everything, and remember, guys, stay safe and have a blast. Peace
out.
Attention passengers, this is your conductor speaking. We are departing the hesitation station. Please stand clear of the closing doors.